Cuties. We are on this very hot subject of today. That's why I couldn't wait to get this out here. If anyone just heard that beep, to be honest, I was going to record sooner, but it's been 24 hours since I recorded that last segment. That beep was an end of a segment, and I was going to dive into the topic later, but to be honest, I had a whole outline, kind of how I was going to do this part of the segment, but some stuff, I've posted some stuff on social media and I'm not going to say, of course, you're going to have those liberals, which I got them off that. I think if you've seen clips of this film, it's really disturbing. And this is why I wanted to get an episode out, why it was fresh. What mostly bothers me about this film is the big thing is the over-sexualization of children in the film. The argument that I'm seeing here is, well, you don't understand. Oh, it has a message. And I've literally heard people say, well, towards the end, it just sends a message that social medias are just wrong and stuff and how it's damaging our kids. I was like, okay. I saw a perfect meme to call this out. It was so funny, I shared it. It's a puppy, and it's literally like, check out the new Netflix show, Puppy Murder, where the director kills several puppies on set just to show you how wrong it is to kill puppies. That is an example of what this film is. Calling it a film is a disgrace. Okay? The problem is, and with it, and people aren't looking at it, they're like, oh, it has a message. A documentary is one thing, and it ain't like someone just with a camera stumbled across this thing with kids and they filmed it. This is an actual film. And I did some research. And by the way, I follow all kinds of YouTube channels. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. I have not watched it. I don't plan on watching it. I won't watch it. I will not watch it. And because I watched a trailer and a couple seconds into it, I had to turn it off. This was yesterday. I haven't even gave the trailer a chance. I was like, I'll watch the trailer. That was disturbing, seeing kids rub themselves and touch themselves. And then you still got people, you got to see the contents of the film. I heard the film's worse. By the way, if you go to, IMDb, that tells Parents Guide, it says severe warning on it. It says, this is a movie, it said over-sexualization of children, nudity, sexual, and that was on imd.com. Pretty legit website. A month ago, it had even worse stuff about it, but they I guess they got paid off a little bit to water it down from what it really is. But I hear people say it's a culture thing. It's you just got to understand. I heard the little college douchebags, I guess, with their little arts degree that goes nowhere in life. Well, you just got to understand art and film. I'm better than everybody. I'm more progressed and I get it. Shut up. That's all I'm going to say. This world is wicked. Okay? Now let's get into what I know about this film. It was filmed in France about 5 years ago, and now it's just coming out in America. Whose dumbass idea was to say, ooh, this needs to come out in America. They would love watching kids twerk, but the message is it's wrong. You know, there's a lot of ways you could get around that to say something's wrong. A little bit about France and Europe. Let's go ahead and say, when people say culture, Europe is one of the most wicked places in the world if we're going from a Christian standpoint. It's very pagan, a lot of pagan practices there, a lot of wickedness, a lot of everything against the Bible, right? I told someone, what disturbs me about this is they say, well, that's the culture there. You just don't get it. You just don't get the culture. Oh, Jesus didn't fit in with the culture when he came. Oh, and by the way, it was the culture that killed him. Started a... But anyway, going to another thing. I'm going to losing subject here. I'm kind of getting pissed off. I'm trying to talk about this from a mature standpoint, but the stuff I've just read just really infuriates me and pisses me off. But Europe is full of pagan practices. That's what we know. It was filmed in France. But here's something I looked up about it. I follow countless YouTube videos. Several of them. So I don't need somebody coming on here like, you don't get it. It's about social media. It's about how wrong it is. If you can sit through the whole film, and I've literally watched a small clip and couldn't make it through. And then they say, oh, what you saw it's a lot worse. These YouTube channels, if you want to know, I said there's Geeks and Gamers, Mecha Random 42, Nerd Erotic. Who else is the other one? I got another one. Clownfish. Some of these, I don't even know if they... So if you want to look up those YouTube channels and watch some of their videos on Cuties, some of these I don't even think coming from anything. One of them I definitely know is not a Christian. Saying it's wrong. Why I'm fired up you got the people saying it's culture. I don't know. Why would you want to say we need to progress, be like Europe, where child molestation is more okay over there? Public nudity is okay over there. We need to progress. You're out of your damn mind if you want to normalize pedophilia. And then show us a damn film of girls not just dancing, stripping, rubbing themselves, showing them almost naked, literally topless in some scenes. These are 9 to 11-year-olds, by the way, to say social media is wrong. This is wrong. See, we're showing you how sexualization of children is wrong. You can do other films to get to that point. You don't have to tell us. How would you like to go to church and your pastor gets drunk, sloppy drunk on stage, beats his wife on stage, and then goes, y'all see, this is what drinking can do, guys. Oh, thank you for doing that. Now I know that getting sloppy drunk and beating your wife is wrong. That's the same thing. By the way, I'm going to say allegedly, because I haven't seen it, but I've literally heard reviews from several YouTubers, probably more than 20, some 30 minutes long giving a review, some short, but I've heard all I needed to know about this film, and it makes me mad. Now, I started sharing stuff, and I got some messages, and this is why I got all riled up right now. Christians that defend this film. This is an example of wickedness that has creeped into the church unaware. When you could watch this and then defend it like, well, it's all about social media. It's culture thing, man. It's social media. It's telling you social media is wrong. I've been on social media a long time, and I've never seen nothing like that. I mean, am I in the wrong spot? Is there something on social media that I don't know about that just has 9-year-olds twerking like crazy? I mean, I haven't seen nothing like that. But let me describe to you some of these scenes, and I'm describing the way some of my YouTube channels describe this movie. They said there's a scene where a girl is using a man's cell phone. And it said in the scene, and I just read this and it disturbed me. I didn't even see this scene. Well, the man wanted his phone back or something, and she gets mad, runs off. I think she starts dancing or something in front of him, and he gets mad, I guess tries to get his phone again, and she takes his phone, runs into the bathroom, locks the door, drops her bottoms, everything, her underwear and everything, and takes very provocative pictures of herself and uploads it to his social media. To get payback on, I don't know. There's another scene where two girls were trying to get in, and security guards stopped them, and they explained to them, we're trying to get to a dance competition. So I guess it was like they were showing them, so they started twerking for these guys, very sexually. And then they let them go. And there's more I read like that. that just reading it made me want to take a shower. I kind of want to throw my phone out and burn it. I literally have a microphone coming in the mail, and I couldn't wait to record a podcast on my phone mic because I want this out while I'm all riled up. And to all those articulate people that lets me know I don't understand film. Well, let me tell you what I do understand. This is not a documentary, from what I hear. It is actually a movie with actors. So what I've read is when they filmed this movie over 5 years ago, there were over 600 children with their parents that brought them down, that knew what this was about, to audition for the get spots on this role. So these kids were brought by their parents to audition for this movie. Okay? Let that sink in. So whatever image you said, you as a parent, would you approve that? I would like to say hell no to any normal parent. All right? So let's just also paint another picture. At one point in time, somebody says, how can we make a movie that just shows you how bad social media can be? And somebody goes, I got it, with a committee of people. Have you ever seen how movies start? And they pitch this idea, and somebody says, Okay, we'll film kids twerking and stripping and showing them with their tops off. And that way, at the very end, we could and let them know that social media is wrong, and that'd be a positive message. Good idea. Let's get some financial backing, a director, and everything. So just to let you know, so now we got a movie set. There's writers writing this, writing what these little girls are doing. This is coming from a mind. These little girls were taught this dance on set by a choreographer. So a choreographer taught them these dance moves, probably a stripper. I'm going to teach you little girls how to twerk today. Wow, that happened. This is a real thing. Then there's a director telling these little girls what I want you to do. So when you see some of these scenes, if you can stomach the image, or you hear about these scenes, like I have, think about the wickedness behind it, that somebody says, this is what I want you to do. You're going to do this. Maybe a couple takes. No, you didn't rub yourself there the right way. Let's keep on going. Jeez. By the way, there's a crew behind it. A camera crew, lighting crew, sound guys. I don't know about you, but if I'm holding a boom mic and I'm in the middle of filming that scene, I think I would drop the boom mic and be like, you know what, guys, I quit. Walking off set, can't do this. I can't do this. Where are you going, man? We need you as a sound guy. We're trying to send a positive message here. I'll be like, not feeling this, guys. There is a crew of men and women behind them telling them what they're doing. Oh, geez. Oh, man, I got my blood pumping. And then Netflix last month releases the trailer for this, and then they go forward with it. They still greenlight out of the backlash. Then they released, you haven't seen it in its full context yet. You got to watch the film. Last month they lost, I think, 150,000 subscribers on the trailer alone. It dropped this week, and I think from what I heard, I might be wrong, I've looked up, but I think this week they lost about 500,000 subscribers because of this show, including me. Now, me and my wife, which I'll have her on here later, we have talked about stuff like this boycott culture, this cancel culture, and I've never really been a part of. There's only one thing I don't do, and I'm not forcing it, is I don't go to Starbucks. And that's because I'm doing what the CEO asked me to do. In 2016, he said, if you are a Christian, I don't want your business. I don't want you to have any part. I don't know if anyone knows that, but he said that in 2016. It was either 15 or 16. He said, if you are a Christian, I do not want your business in my company. So I've went since then here or there, but now I'm just like, I can't sit there and give my money when a CEO blasphemed my God like that. And he was very mocking. But in our area where I live, there's a lot of actually better options than that are locally owned than that, and that's why I don't go to Starbucks. But besides that, I didn't boycott Target when the bathroom issue come up, and we've never boycotted because I've always said you can't get mad when lost people act lost. When people that are not Christians, you can't expect them to live by Christian principles. All right? So I've always said I'm not going to boycott Target, because if I start boycotting everything that didn't have Christian principles, you'll have a pretty miserable life. You probably couldn't go out to eat anywhere. You couldn't hardly go anywhere. It'll be slim pickings. Couldn't go buy clothes. Everything. Your car you drive, they probably support something that's against the Bible. I mean, I would say if you take a firm stance on something, you might as well do it everywhere else. So I said, I'm not going to be a part of this cancel culture. I had something where people, I think a while back, was saying cancel Netflix about something, and I still didn't do it. But when this came up, yes, I took part. I canceled my Netflix. And the reason why is this is a company that went forward knowing what this film was about and defended it when the trailer came out. What's really disturbing, it's not really disturbing or any shock, is celebrities coming out defending it. Now they're saying, you're bigoted. I don't even know. They throw out, you don't understand culture. And that's one thing I was listening to is, I think her name's Tessa Thompson, the girl that played Valkyrie in the Avengers and in Thor Ragnarok. She's very open, supporting of this film. Now, if you ever see any clips or hear about it that disturbs you, or if you even just decide you're going to watch it to see what the controversy is about. And that was another thing. Usually when there's a controversial film, I'll watch it. And most of the time I can sit there and be like, yeah, I can see the problem. I couldn't even make it through a 10-second trailer. I mean, you can ask my wife. I was sitting right there and I was like, I just can't do it. And the second I watched that trailer, I canceled my Netflix. I could not do it. I mean, with all this rise of, it's just a coincidence. This came out 5 years ago, and with the rise, I mean, it's very known there's a pedophile elite ring in our country. You can see it. The Jeffrey Epstein's cover-ups, all that our celebrities, there's a lot of them involved in a pedophile ring. So, of course, there's going to be the fence against it. In light of all that, Netflix goes forward with this. You know, somebody was like, the message. I said, well, put it on mute. Would it get that message across if you watch it on mute? Probably not. But going back to what I was saying, directors. Oh, yeah, the Rotten Tomato score. This should tell you something. This was as of yesterday, which would be September 15th, 2020. So 8 a.m. This is only 1 day late, but it could be different right now if you look it up, or even if I post this recording. Rotten Tomatoes changes all the time. At RottenTomatoes.com, the critic score, certified fresh. Out of 39 critics at the time, it got an 87%. That means most of the critics are raving this. This is amazing. They're on an articulate level that I don't understand, you know. But out of the audience rating, gave it, rotten to the audience. Now, if you don't know anything about Rotten Tomatoes, there's a critic score and there's a public score. The critics, 87% of the critics that went on this, and I noticed there's only 39, so it looks like other critics are staying the hell away from this, gave it an 87%. 1,047 people, this is people like me and you, we could go on there anytime and give our rating, gave it a 3%, which is not good. That means out of all that 1,047 people, only 3% of those people said they enjoyed the film. Had to be I'm going to guess a single male, mid-50s, dirty trailer and van, living in a van or something. I don't know. They seem like they would enjoy it. Wow. And let me tell you something about Rotten Tomatoes and how wicked it is. These movies are, and if you follow any movie channel, they're all going this route because over politicized. Identity politics are all a big part of the movie industry now, and it's practically ruining it. I mean, if you play video games, you can see it in that. You can see it in movies, TV show. It's the news, sports. It's everywhere now. But what's going on is back in the 90s, when you saw the critics gave something, 90% of critics said they like it, you would see the audience would be in agreement. Fast forward to now, almost, I can't remember what movie it was. There was a movie I saw where it had 100% and the audience rating was like down in the 20%, which is not good out of thousands. So, and then when you go click on what the credit said, it was like a copy and paste answer for almost every one of them. This was a fun-filled film. This was fun and exciting. Fun for everyone. And what it is movies like, especially Disney and Universal, monopolize the whole entertainment business. So for these critics to keep their early access, they have to give good reviews, even when the fans hate these movies. So that's explaining this review for Cuties right here. 87% of critics love it. 3% of the public hate it, as it should be. Right now, Netflix has a stock drop, that pretty significant stock drop this week, and it's a good thing. You know, I never condone boycotting something, but if you did, this would be a good one. Drop your Netflix account. You know what? I only watch The Office anyway, and I have them on DVD, and I'm willing to make that sacrifice. I'll change the disc out when I need to. But man, this has just got me heated. That pedophilia in this 1 year alone is starting to be so normalized, seeing children sexualized on such a platform that they are today. It's disturbing. Let me get to where, going back to this is a movie, right? Let's see what the Bible says about this. Something about children's. Mark 9:42, and whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, children, that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he was cast into the sea. I don't know about you, but it kind of sounds like, according to the Bible, actually, I believe this is Jesus' words, yeah. Cast into the sea. What if, okay, in other words, saying tie a stone to my neck and sink me to the bottom of the ocean? Sink me to the bottom of a lake or a sea? Kind of sounds like it says, if anyone harms a kid, you should kill them. The Bible says that. Right there. That was out of Jesus' mouth. We are living in wicked times, and I think I'm more disturbed to hear people who call themselves Christians defend this film. People who say, I am bought with the blood of Christ. But I don't understand, man. You need to understand Cuties is a good film and very powerful against social media. Oh, my God. I mean, I was bothered by that more than anything. I don't know. I feel like I want to read this. 2 Timothy chapter 3 says, know this also, that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient towards parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Does this sound familiar? Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. That's a good one. From such, turn away. Sorry, I copied and pasted this a little small, so I keep losing my spot. Verse 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning, never able to come to the knowledge of truth. I'll skip down. But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifested unto all men, as theirs also was. But thou fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, affections, which come unto me at Antioch and at Iconium and Lystra. What persecutions I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me. Verse 12, all that live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast assured, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. Verse 15. And that from a child that hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Jesus Christ. All scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof and correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. I look at that whole text and it talks about, did it sound familiar a little bit? Well, everything going on in the world, especially when it says, verse 2, where it starts saying, lovers of them own self, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affections, truth breakers, false accusers, incontent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heedily, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than the lovers of God, having the form of godliness and denying the power thereof. I think of people when they're directing this film, especially as the abusers. These people were directing children when this film. When you see even those previews of these children rubbing themselves, they're being directed. You are telling these children, you are an abuser to have them do that. And then think about all the riots and everything breaking loose out today. Most of them are 18 to 20 years old. Most of them are proven to be these little spoiled brats that have no care about society. And this is the wickedness we're dealing with. And Cuties, I don't know why, but I feel like there's more to come of this. There's going to be more to come. So, buckle up, everybody, because it's about to be a shit show.